So let's talk about the last and final stage of the menstrual cycle, which is the luteal phase. So the luteal phase is about days 16 to 28, again on that regular 28-day cycle. So this part of the cycle is a little tricky when we talk about what our hormones are doing, because actually a lot is happening in that day 16 to 28. So after ovulation, when everything has peaked, we do have a decrease in everything. Your testosterone, your estrogen, and your progesterone plummet. Then your testosterone stays. You don't get another increase in testosterone until you get back into that follicular phase of the next cycle. So testosterone stays. During that luteal phase, the mid portion of the luteal phase, our estrogen and progesterone actually increase again. And this is where your progesterone gets its highest peak. The reason for that is the progesterone is like the housing hormone. So think of this as the very housewarming hormone. Come in, let me get you something to drink, let me give you a very nice place to stay. So the point of progesterone is it's really supposed to be housing uterus to get ready for implantation. So when we're pregnant, we see a rise in progesterone throughout our entire pregnancy because it's the one that's nourishing the uterus and really helping to make a home for this egg, which eventually turns into an embryo and a baby. So that's why there's this huge peak following ovulation in the luteal phase, because your body is like, hey, hopefully we had some fertilization happen and now we have this little baby that we get to house. But when we don't have that, then everything plummets. And that's where we really see issues with PMS. We see issues with fatigue, is that decrease. So when progesterone rises and hits its peak, we actually see estrogen rise as well. Not as much as it does in the follicular phase though. And then both of them plummet. And that's where, again, we see the issues with PMS and things like that. So a lot is happening in this luteal phase. So to give you specific exercises is kind of tricky. So for me personally, and I think for most women, when you come off of ovulation, generally in the beginning of the luteal phase, we still feel pretty good, but we're getting ready for that increase and that decline very rapidly. So in the beginning, I would recommend some moderate to low intensity. So Pilates, walking, swimming, that type of thing, more of the moderate intensity. When we get close to starting our menstrual period again, and we get to the end of that luteal phase, this is the part where you're really going to want to do low impact. So very low impact walking. Yoga is great. Yoga is probably the best thing I recommend for that end of the luteal phase, because it really gives your body time to reset and rebalance and get ready for the beginning of this next cycle. So when we talk about perimenopause and menopausal women, that plummet is what we're seeing. So that's where we start to have issues with weight gain. We start to have issues with fatigue, the hot flashes, the nights. For perimenopause, very similar, but we do see some of those ups and downs as we transition into menopause. So giving your body, doing super high intensity workouts when we're in perimenopause and menopause is hard, and your body really isn't adapt for that unless you're going to do some bioidentical hormone replacement therapy or things like that. That can really help and build up the endurance and get your body ready for those higher stress exercises. But when we're really talking about perimenopause and menopause, it's so important to listen to your body and really listen to what you're feeling. If your body is begging for rest, give it yoga, give it Pilates, do more of those low intensity exercises until we can find a better balance for you to incorporate some more of those higher intensity workouts and things like that. So what I've learned through doing all of the research and really practicing this for myself is listening to my body. I was terrible at it for 30 years of my life. Terrible at listening to my body. I just pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed because my mind took over my body, and this is what I had to do, and this was what I was training for and stuff like that. But having my child, being forced to slow down, being forced to listen to my body, I have grown so much closer to myself and to my body and listening to my body. And I truly do practice these exercise routines throughout my cycle, and I've noticed a huge difference. And I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I haven't gained any weight. I haven't gained weight by doing some lower intensity workouts for a week or two instead of doing high intensity all the time. And I'm sleeping better, my mood is better, and my body overall feels better because I'm truly giving it what it needs based on what hormones it's producing. So, and I'll tell you, I never was a fan of yoga. I was like a fish out of water. No idea what I was doing, probably look ridiculous. But the more I do it, the more relaxing it feels, and the more I'm strengthening muscles that I've never strengthened before. And I've been learning that with Pilates too. And so I think it's super important to just try new things and really listen to your body. So I hope these videos have been helpful. And if you have any questions, reach out to Hormone Health.
Hi, Dr. Saxena here, Chief Medical Officer at Form Health. Thanks for visiting our channel. Make sure to subscribe to get the latest insights and information on functional and integrative medicine.